some Coke Zero. You know what it is. Don't drink your calories, ladies and gentlemen. Hey everybody. Welcome back to another video. And today, you know what time it is. Also, you probably read the title of the video. The Week 7, the NFL regular season, has come and gone, heading into Week 8. We're now the halfway point of the season. Things are starting to become a little more clear for some teams, but there's still a little bit of mud in the water as we're coming around the bend, so to speak. Giving a preliminary look at my predictions here that I wrote down last week. I missed big on some of these, but some of them, I feel like the big ones, I feel like I hit on those, so I'm not too mad about it. Let's get into our sheet here. The games I watched this week, I watched Jaguars v Saints, Seahawks vs Cardinals, Eagles vs Dolphins, and the Vikings vs the 49ers. I feel like I got a nice little spread of games there that I watched this week. First game up, Jaguars vs Saints. I predicted that the Jaguars would win that game, and they did. Final score was 31-24, but I'm gonna talk some of the notes I made during that game. I turned the game on. There was 9 minutes 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Jaguars were up 7-0 at that point. And I see now that there was a Travis Etienne rushing touchdown that happened literally 4 seconds before I turned the game on. Saints were starting to roll on offense, but the Jags made a big defensive stand. Saints missed the field goal. First pass of the drive, and Kirk fumbled the ball. Saints recover, but the Jaguars forced a 3-and-out after that, so the fumble was not punished. Then Saints punt the ball, but the punt is fumbled. I think it was also Kirk on that one, but I'm not 100% sure. And the Saints recovered the punt, so back-to-back fumble recoveries. It's just crazy at that point. I was like, okay, Saints have a lot of momentum right now. Miraculously, the Jags force another 3-and-out. Saints kick a field goal. At that point, game is 7-3. Flip past Etienne. Great little play. He ran that in for a touchdown. Nobody even touched him. Saints go for it on 4th down, but Carr's pass is incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions, or Jacksonville forces a punt. And I said at this point, Carr was really struggling to connect on his passes so far in the game. But Etienne was also the only one really getting anything done for the Jags at that point. Saints settle for another field goal. Carr wanted to stay on the field. He was kind of saying like, no, let's go for it, but they end up kicking the field goal. Jags ball, they do a fake punt and get the first down, which was last time you saw a fake punt. I don't know, it's been a while for me. Then Trevor Lawrence gets intercepted by Lattimore with 30 seconds left in the half. But then the interception gets overturned upon review. Field goal for the Jaguars. They're up 17-6. Second half, Carr throws a pick 6. In the third quarter, by Alukan. I'm not sure exactly how you say his name. Then a Taysom Hill receiving touchdown tied the game for the Saints. Jaguars march down the field, they get a touchdown, they go up 7. Saint Kamara for the Saints, he pushes ahead to convert the third down, gets Saints to the goal line. Carr throws a ball into the end zone, but it just barely rolls off the fingertips of the receiver. It was so close. Saints pass on 4th and goal, no good, turnover on downs, and that is the ball game. In this game, Trevor Lawrence had 20 completions on 29 attempts, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Derek Carr had 33 completions on 55 attempts, 301 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And the Jaguars are 5-2. They're leading the AFC South. I thought that the Jaguars would be pretty good this season. So far, they look better than I expected. Saints, as they're sitting at 3-4, they're 3rd in the NFC South. What are those standings looking like? You guys want to see? I mean, yeah, that's still a winnable division for them, though. Falcons are leading it at 4-3. Saints are at 3-4. Bucks are 3-3. Saints. I think Saints could finish 2nd in that division. Panthers are 0-6. They're dead in the water, but. Alright, next game. Browns versus Colts. I predicted the Browns here, even though you have PJ Walker starting at QB. And the Browns do end up getting the win by a single point. You guys have to excuse my voice, it's a little scratchy. I've been dealing with seasonal allergies like crazy, which sucks because back home I never had seasonal allergies, but now here in Sydney, as we're getting into spring and summertime now, like the seasonal allergies are just beating me up, and it's very frustrating because I've never dealt with it before. But yeah, this is the battle of the backups, and Deshaun Watson's whole situation now is so weird. Like, I'm seeing some people say that he's been medically cleared, but he's just not like feeling right to play. I don't know, it's a really murky situation. I saw this video the other day, people were saying like he just doesn't really want to play anymore after what happened in the offseason, or the last season, not even the offseason. So I don't even know what's going on with him, but PJ Walker came into this game, like I said, Browns win 39-38. It's him versus Gardner Minshew, with Anthony Richardson unfortunately out for the rest of this season. PJ Walker goes 15 completions on 32 attempts, 178 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Gardner Minshew goes 15 for 23, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Gardner Minshew also had a rushing touchdown. Which when's the last time you saw that? Looking at the scoring summary, that was crazy. Tremble's right tackle. Looks like Gardner Minshew might have actually had 2 rushing touchdowns. At one point, Myles Garrett strip sacks Minshew. That's taken back by Fields for the Browns touchdown. Yeah, interesting. This seems like it would have been a good game to watch, actually. Bills versus Patriots. This also seemed like it would have been a nice game to watch. Was there like some controversy around this game? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really look like it. Just looking at some things real quick. I don't think so. The Bills just lost this one. Final score 25-29. I did predict them to win. Like I said, I've been really low on on the Patriots this season, and I thought of all teams that they're going to get wins against, it's not going to be the Bills, but somehow Bill beat the Bills. Let's see what I did there. Handing me my first of many losses this week, I'm sure. Final score 25-29 in favor of the Patriots. Josh Allen goes 27 completions on 41 attempts, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Mac Jones, 25 completions on 30 attempts, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Allen also had a rushing touchdown this game, so 3 total touchdowns for him. And the game ends on a Gesicki passing touchdown with 15 seconds left in the game, so that 2-minute offense there for the Patriots is what wins them the game. That's actually crazy. Dying seconds of the game, and they get it was in the red zone. It was a 1-yard pass, but still, crazy way to end this game. Okay, Raiders versus Bears. I was not expecting. Oh my god, my stomach just growled like crazy at the mic. Didn't pick that up. I'm just recording this right after I woke up. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I was not expecting to get this one wrong. I predicted the Raiders here. The Bears are on like their, because Sam Howell played last week with Justin Fields out, but now they have their rookie in there, Tyson Bagent. Now Raiders also have their rookie in with Aiden O'Connell. Did Jimmy Garoppolo get hurt again? Oh, I didn't watch this game. Did he get hurt a second time? Because I thought... Because I thought he did get hurt, but I thought he came back. Yeah, against the Patriots, but I don't know, but the Raiders had Aiden O'Connell, and I thought Jimmy Garoppolo played. I thought he came back from injury already, but I might be mistaken. Unless he's been hurt twice this season already, I don't know. But yes, you have Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders, who like a lot of Raiders fans are hyping up, but I don't see it with him. This is his second game now playing, I'm pretty sure, for them. But Tyson Bagent for the Bears. Are we going to have a QB controversy in Chicago? I don't know. He had one good game, right? Like, he has to have more than just that. Like, we're going to get into, like, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi territory here or something. But Aiden O'Connell goes 10 for 13, only 75 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Tyson Bagent, 21 completions on 29 attempts, 162 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. But Deonta Foreman for the Bears, 16 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was an absolute monster. Josh Jacobs was really held at bay by the Bears defense. He only had 35 yards on 11 carries, and Jacoby Myers only had 50 yards. And, you know, the Raiders. Let's see. 196. Aiden O'Connell. They did run 2 QBs this game. I hate the layout of this. Because they had to have run 2 QBs this game. Brian Hoyer played as well. Okay, so it looks like... Okay, so Hoyer came in and sucked because he threw 2 picks. Hoyer went 17 for 32, 129 yards. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It looks like at some point, probably in the second half, they brought in Aiden O'Connell. And then he put 75, 1-1. Either way, they lost. Commanders versus Giants. I picked the Giants here. I wasn't super confident in that pick, but they do end up winning this game. Final score 14-7. Super low scoring game. You're only... I know Sam Howell plays for the Commanders. Who am I thinking of that played for the Bears? must have been where. I'm getting confused. I said Sam Howell, he plays for the Commanders. We're moving past it. Your only scores come in the second and third quarter. It's super early in the morning. My brain isn't turned on yet. You have 2 passing touchdowns for the Giants in the second quarter, 1 rushing touchdown for the Commanders in the third quarter, and that is the extent of your scoring. And the over-under on this game was 37.5, which is crazy. They blasted that under. Sam Howell has 22 completions and 42 attempts, 249 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a pick. Tyrod Taylor continues to look good. I've always been a fan of Tyrod Taylor. Like every time he's ever had to come in as a backup, I feel like he's always been like decent to good. Like Tyrod Taylor, 18 for 29, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Plus he has a cool name, right? Like Tyrod is a pretty cool name. Okay. Falcons, Bucks. I think I took the Bucks here, and the Buccaneers have let me down back-to-back weeks now when I pick them. So I think I'm done predicting the Buccaneers for a little bit. They're just too hard to predict. I feel like they keep letting me down. I don't know, 16-13 Falcons. Desmond Ridder puts up a solid performance here, 19 completions on 25 attempts, so great accuracy from him. 250 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but he did have a rushing touchdown, just no passing touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, 27 completions on 42 attempts, 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But I mean, the star of this show is Younghoe. He has 3 field goals in this game, including a 51-yarder to win the game by 3 at the end. But outside the first quarter, where each team got a touchdown, the whole rest of this game was just a field goal fest. So probably not the most exciting game to watch. If you were a fan of either team, or especially if you're a neutral fan, I would say Lions versus Ravens. I predicted the Lions here. Now, interestingly, Baltimore was a 3.5-point favorite, which I think is interesting because everyone's been hyping up the Lions like they were top 3 in the power rankings this last week. I saw some publications had Lions at the top of the power ranking. People were saying like Jared Goff is playing like the best QB in the NFL. And then they come in here and their offense is just non-existent. 6-38 is your final score in favor of the Ravens. And for the Lions offense, which is, has been one of the best offenses in the entire league up to this point, to get completely shut down and not even score a touchdown until the fourth quarter, not even the second half, the fourth quarter, is very alarming. And it kind of reminds me of that article I read last week that's like, is anybody even that good this year? Because I'm just saying, in my mind, there's a lot of fraud alerts going off this week. I put a lot of teams on fraud alert this week, mainly the Dolphins and the Niners, but Lamar Jackson just carved this Lions defense up, this vaunted Lions defense. Lamar Jackson had 21 completions on 27 attempts, 357 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, no interceptions. He might have the best single game performance of any quarterback so far this year with this game here against the Lions. Meanwhile, Jared Goff, 33 completions on 53 attempts, 284 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. Jahmyr Gibbs only held to 68 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't even get a touchdown, even though he gets over 100 passing yards. But yeah, this is a real stinker for the Lions, and probably maybe concerning. Who do they have coming up on their schedule? they should probably still get that. Chargers could be a toss-up there. Lions do have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. Lions have Raiders, which is a win. Chargers, which I'd say is a 50-50 potentially. Bears is a win. Packers is a win. Saints is a win. Bears is a win. Broncos is a win. Then their final 3 games, they have Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings. I think they probably go 1-2 over those 3 games, so they should still make the playoffs, but I definitely am starting to get concerned about the Lions now. It's only putting up 6 points is not great. Now we finally get back to another game that I was able to watch this week, which is Cardinals versus Seahawks. Cardinals versus Seahawks. I predicted the Seahawks to win, and they do, finally putting me back in the W column here. Final score 20-10 in favor of the Seahawks. I turned the game on pretty late though. I mean, yeah, the time zone at this point is really starting to get to me. I turned the game on, there was 9 minutes, 2 seconds left in the third quarter, and the score's 14-10 Seahawks, but looking at it, in the first quarter, Jackson Smith-Njigba finally got his first NFL touchdown, so that's good. Joshua Dobbs rushed one in, and then Jake Bobo continues to be just an absolute weapon for the Seattle offense, which a lot of people weren't expecting, but I mean, yeah, Walker gets stuffed on the run on 1st and goal, second run gets stopped again, and then the pass on the 3rd down is stopped, so we settle for the field goal there. 3 and out for the Cardinals on their drive. Massive punt return for the Seahawks to the Cardinals 35, and then Geno gets intercepted at the 1-yard line. And it's been like a story all season long, but the Seattle offense really struggles in the red zone. And it seems like when that field shortens up a little bit, Geno Smith's decision making gets a lot worse. Yeah, Geno Smith has really struggled in the red zone. Cardinals punt, Seahawks fumble, Cardinals recover. And I said at that point, Geno was just massively struggling in the game. Massive sack on Joshua Dobbs on 2nd and 24. Cardinals miss the field goal. Witherspoon gets a massive sack on a 3rd down, but the flag is a first. Seattle defense is staying on the field way too much. I said they're going to gas out eventually. Cardinals go for it on 4th down, but it's a turnover on downs. Then the Seahawks kick a 48-yard field goal to go up 10 with 2 minutes left in the game. Cardinals get the ball back. Dobbs gets sacked on 4th and 11, and that is the ball game. Joshua Dobbs this game goes 19 completions on 33 attempts, 146 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 0 interceptions. Geno Smith is 18 for 24, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And yeah, Seahawks are 2nd in the NFC West, and they actually, they have the Niners coming up, who after their week this week, that game looks like it might be a toss-up. I'd still give the edge to the Niners, but the Seahawks do have the chance to tie the division lead. Do they tie it, or... Oh no, they have the Bengals. When do we play this? When do we play them? We don't play them until week 8, 9, 10, 11. Never mind. I thought we played them next week. I don't know why. We don't play them till the 24th of November. Rams, Steelers. I predicted the Rams here, but they end up losing that game. That Pickens combination was absolutely deadly. This game, Steelers win this one 24-17. Kenny Pickett has 17 completions on 25 attempts, 230 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Stafford has 14 completions on 29 attempts, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Packers, Broncos. I predicted the Broncos here. I thought the game could have gone either way, but the Broncos do get the win. Just looking at final score 19-17. Jordan Love goes 21 completions on 31 attempts, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Russell Wilson 20 completions on 29 attempts, 194 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. I think this game was the one with yeah, there was a weird call here. Touchdown throw to Daubs. Catch was contested. The Broncos DB. Gene came on after the play. Said it should have been called an INT because the DB's feet came down before Daubs. Therefore, the DB made the catch before Daubs did. But just 2 feet down, ball control is no longer considered a catch. You also need to control the ball through either a football move or through contact with the ground. He forgot to factor that into his analysis. Once you consider a completed catch in this instance is when both players have possession on the ground, not in relation to who got the feet down first. It's very clearly a simultaneous catch, and in that instance the catch goes to the passing team. I mean, really, this all just comes back to the NFL frequently changing the definition of what a catch is or is not. So that is this third quarter Daub touchdown there that I see. That doesn't affect the outcome of the game. Because the Packers or the Broncos still end up winning it even with that counting. But yeah, people mad about that. You have to be constantly aware of what the NFL is now defining a catch as because it changes. And it can change without you realizing it's changed. Chargers, Chiefs, I predicted the Chiefs there, and they do get the win 31-17. Justin Herbert has 17 completions on 30 attempts, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes has 32 completions on 42 attempts, 424 yards. That's a crazy amount of yardage. 4 touchdowns and an interception. And I saw this stat today. The Kansas City Chiefs are the first team to be top 5 in all 3 phases as of week 7 since the 1999 Rams. Kansas City Chiefs have the number 4 offense, the number 5 defense, and the number 2 special teams. The only other teams to have achieved this are the 1984 Redskins, the 1985 Bears, the 1990 Giants, the 1991 Redskins, and the 1996 Packers. So that bodes very well for the Kansas City Chiefs, to be honest. They just won a Super Bowl, and they are now the only team that is a top 5 in all 3 categories. So they're in very good position to potentially go back, come out of the AFC, which I was not thinking that until this last week. I was thinking that the Dolphins would be the team to come out of the AFC because of how they started this season, but I now have a lot of question marks around the Dolphins after this last game. And against, what was that other loss they had? interesting thing to me is looking at the Miami Dolphins. They either win in a blowout or they lose in a blowout. So this week they lost 17-31. Last week they won 42-21. Week before that they won 31-16. Week before that they lost 20-48. Week before that they won 70-20. But also looking at their schedule, they've had an easy schedule. The Dolphins, like, the only two playoff teams they've played are the Eagles and the Bills, and they lost both of those. Rams, Patriots, Broncos, Buffalo, Giants, Panthers, Eagles. That's only like two good teams. They have New England coming up. Then they have the Chiefs, Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Titans, Giants, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm 100% at the way there yet, but I'm thinking I might be having to put the Dolphins on fraud alert. I've been predicting them to be in the Super Bowl, but I might change that to the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't know about the Dolphins. But I did watch the Eagles-Dolphins game. So let's talk about it. Just to get out of the way, I did predict the Eagles to win this game, and the Eagles do win this game. Final score is 31-17. I said that the Eagles' offense is just moving completely unfettered early. Weird play call for the Eagles on 3rd and goal. There's a designed run for Hurts, but that gets stopped and they're forced to kick a field goal. And the first play of their first drive, Dolphins get a delay of game. And I said that Tyreek Hill was getting wide open early in the game. The Eagles defense is pressuring to quite a bit. They force a punt on 4 and 15. Hurts gets sacked and fumbles the ball. Dolphins recover, and then Dolphins tie the game with a field goal. Goddard gets a rushing touchdown, or the first touchdown of the game for the Eagles. Miami is struggling with penalties early. I said they were really just committing a lot of dumb penalties. There's a play where Hurts escapes the pass rush, scrambles, throws for the touchdown. One of the craziest plays I've ever seen. Hold on. Rushing touchdown with the first TD of the game. Did that come off the board or something? Did I miss something? Because this isn't lining up. I don't know. Oh, that's why it was just short of the touchdown. Okay, so I was like, wait, why didn't that? Okay, it was just short of the touchdown. I have to read my own notes. Sets up 1st and goal, push touchdown for Hurts, 14-3 Eagles at that point. Dolphins only 36 yards of offense heading towards the 2-minute warning. And that's the point where I was like, this Dolphins team might not actually be that good. Because they only put up 36 yards of offense, and it was almost halftime. Now they end up getting more towards the end, but that was very, very concerning. Like, you can't do that in a playoff game. You can't do that, in a Super Bowl, God forbid. Waddle got injured in the first, ruled out for the game heading towards the half, and Waddle is starting to become an injury-prone guy. And Miami was already struggling with injuries. I think they had like 2 or 3 starters out on their offensive line this game. Tua drops back for the passes and is sacked. That sets up 3rd and 13, but then Miami gets a false start on 3rd and 13. Like I said, just stupid penalties all game long for the Dolphins. Tua with a deep pass to Wilson that converts the first down. Then he gets sacked again. And I said the offensive line was really struggling. Deep ball to Tyreek for the touchdown. Miami is only down 1 score. And they get the ball back after the half. But to start the second half, Miami is forced to punt. And then there's a play. Hill catches the ball. He fumbles on his way to the end zone. And Hill tries to jump on the ball, but it pops out. Eagles Eagles recover. Hurts drops back to pass. The ball goes directly to the Dolphins for pick six. Like, he threw right to them. It's very alarming. And, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but, you don't let your offensive coordinator walk. You just don't do it. Hurts to Brown, who breaks the tackle for a touchdown. Tua has a pass into the end zone, but it gets picked off by Slay. And at that point, the Eagles were doing a great job of killing the clock as they were marching down to the end zone. They were just eating minutes. Gainwell gets hit, spins out of it, touchdown. Eagles up 14, 5 minutes left to play. And then that next drive, Tua gets sacked on back-to-back plays. That forced the fourth down. And then on the fourth down, the Dolphins make the stupidest play call I've ever seen. Like, I don't know what Mike McDaniel was thinking, but the designed play on their fourth down 2 scores, was like a short little 3-yard pass, and it wasn't even a screen play. It was just a short pass to the middle of the field. And so obviously there's a turnover on downs at that point, and I was absolutely shocked at what I saw. Tua Tagovailoa has 23 completions on 32 attempts, 216 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Jalen Hurts has 23 completions on 31 attempts, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And Hurts also has the rushing touchdown. Finally. Niners versus Vikings. I predicted the Vikings to win this. A lot of people probably thought I was crazy. I can't fault them for that. I was not confident in my pick. But Kirk Cousins, can you take me higher? Yes, he can. Vikings get the win. Kirk Cousins says it's all because of Creed. Who am I to argue? Final score 17-22 in favor of the Vikings. Here are my notes from that game. The Vikings threw an interception on the first play of the game. So I was already like, well, I'm going to lose this prediction. But then Christian McCaffrey fumbles on the run. Vikings recover. And I was watching the Manning cast of this game, and Peyton pointed out some very interesting insider information that he has. The Vikings have a different playbook for when Joey Bosa is sitting. So, if you don't know, defensive players do not play every single snap. They'll rotate in and out so they can get rest and things like that. They can, stay fresh so they're not playing the entire game. You'd be dead at that point. And Peyton was saying that the Vikings have a completely different set of plays depending on whether or not Bosa is sitting. And there's a few times, there's one specific time the Vikings had to call a timeout or they got a penalty or something, and they had one play that looked like a good play, but then the penalty happens, and then Joey Bosa ends up coming on the field, and you can see Kirk Cousins is like getting angry. He's like, we had a good play, but now we can't run that play because Joey Bosa's here. So I thought that was very interesting. I said the Vikings' run offense looks really nice. Kirk to the end zone for the Addison touchdown. Vikings open scoring, and that's big because Addison had the interception earlier. But, instead of going away from Addison, Kirk's like, no, we're going to build this guy up. He gets him the touchdown. And the Vikings' run game continues to dominate after getting the ball back. Vikings run a double pass into a screen. Crazy trick play. The ball over to the running back. Then the screen happens on the right side of the field while the ball's on the left after it's already gone out. Then he throws the ball ball into the screen. It was a crazy play. But offensive pass interference erased the play. It's up 2nd and 24. Vikings convert, set up 1st and goal. Kirk misses a wide open Addison the end zone. Forced to kick a field goal, go up 10-0. But San Francisco tacks on 7 before the half. Christian McCaffrey rushing touchdown. Then a Vikings touchdown with 7 seconds left in the game. And this is one of the highlights from this week. Deep pass. It looks like it's going to be intercepted to Addison again. But, Addison rips it out of the defender's hand. He just, rips the ball back. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. Runs it into the end zone. I think it was, 60 yards or something. Purdy drops back to throw. He's sacked. Ball comes out. Vikings recover. And I said at this point, the 49ers offense looked really bad. They couldn't handle the Vikings pass rush. But a call overturned the fumble, sets up 3rd and 25. Kirk throws to Addison the end zone again. Misses the catch. Vikings forced to kick a field goal. And then Christian McCaffrey just trots into the end zone completely unopposed for a touchdown. Vikings drive, ends in a field goal to go up 8. Niners drive, fizzles out, ends in a field goal. And I said at this point, Vikings are only up 5. They have to at least kick a field goal. San Francisco goes for it on 4th and 1. They convert, and then Purdy gets intercepted. Minnesota ball. 5 minutes, 30 left in the game, and that was awful timing for Purdy because, if they would have scored that drive, they would have taken the lead. And Niners had all the momentum at that point. That interception killed the momentum. Kirk gets absolutely swarmed by the defense, but he gets the pass away, converts to 3rd down, and then a 50-yard field goal attempt for the Vikings misses. Vikings are only up 5, and the Niners have the ball. 2 minutes left in the game, but then Purdy throws a second interception to the exact same guy as the first time, and that's the ball game. Brock Purdy has 21 completions on 30 attempts, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Kirk Cousins has 378 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 35 completions, 45 attempts. And there's a few news stories coming out of this game. I see this tweet here. It says, so many people have said that this was a rare Purdy mistake, but he ranks 4th in turnover-worthy plays. To this point, he just has not been punished. And I've talked about this a little bit, but I feel like online, anybody who talks out and is like, Purdy isn't actually that great. It's mostly just the scheme. It's Shanahan's scheme. It's the offensive line. Shanahan is one of, if not the best offensive mind in the league. And a lot of people argue you could put literally any quarterback in that system and they would win games because of how talented they are, of how good the offensive system is. And a lot of people who've criticized Purdy have been shouted down. Be like, no, you're stupid, all this stuff. And I've been saying for a while, I don't think Purdy is special. I think he's a average system quarterback. And now I think, maybe that dialogue is starting to shift a little bit, 4th in turnover-worthy plays. And also, that 49ers defense. Kirk Cousins dropped back 45 times this game, and the 49ers had 0 sacks. 45 dropbacks, not a single sack, which is rare for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins gets hit all the time. But, just interesting things to note this week. Let's see, there were only 13 games this week. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 correct. Actually not as bad as I thought I was going to do. It looked worse. I think it's just that Bills and Lions game that really kind of threw me. Let's pull up the calculator. 8 divided by 13. I am 57% accurate on the season so far. You know what? Not bad. I'll take that, but thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. And until next time, guys. Bye-bye.